Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist one too, and all in between. This is for the absolute positive, good God and truth of you, only crossing absolutely bigger and better here and now to reality check. Pistis Sophia in the mythology, okay, was the first faith of existence, and through her faith she copulated with herself, okay, and created a dragon of negativity, which in return I state created the blue-blooded Shiva shafting devil of all matter, creation of existence. So the here now reality check, okay? And this blue-blooded devil, okay, through the faith of Sophia as the first religion of the world, the Hindu, Sindhu, Udu, okay, incarnated as a shafting spawn of him, Nagas all around the world, okay, and not only that, through faith, okay, we have been he shafted, right? If you ever heard of the book of Shem, okay, or anything of Hermes, these are he shafted narrations of the demiurge of faith, okay, to throw you off always to what is good as truth, okay. So faith, so Pistis Sophia was the first faith of existence. Through copulating with herself, all creation of existence to the reality of her was created, a female of her faith, okay. Now the demiurge god of Pistis Sophia, I state, is a he shafting blue devil of humanity, okay, and I'll explain to you why here in a second, which has spawned through the Nagas of the Hindu, Sindhu, Udu, through the first faith of religion of the world, right? The suicidal indoctrination of lies on all things of an Adam man evolved since the beginning, and I will show you exactly how it happened and why it happened. God, the boundless energy of all creation of existence of reality check I am, wanted to incarnate, right, all matter of infinity of existence to the here and now of reality check for infinity, okay. So slowing down lesser than light speed created as a negative, Pistis Sophia as the backdrop, a primordial atom, okay, of her own, okay, and as this energy was negatively deficient of being light, okay, always at the speed in which it was being created, right, it coagulated as a lesser energy into a dragon of negativity, okay, and this dragon of negativity brought itself to a neutronic state, which created the he shafting blue devil Shiva of all matter through a neutronic state of all creation of existence as a female dragon of negativity. crisscrossing as all matter creation of existence to all things the absolute bigger and better of all things negative, too long, one, nothing. But before that happened, the male energy of God turned back up to light speed and overwhelmed the crisscrossing energy of Pistis Sophia and caused her to explode. Okay? And when this happened, right, it caused all things more positive male energy of the God of all I am to go into the proton, okay? And that's why all things protonic energy, more positive than a negative energy, is stated good as the truth of their matter to the reality check of their shape, form, and mass. And all the negative female energy, right, went to the static, twisted, scattered, undefined energy of all time and space of the electron field, and to the absolute negative charge of all neutrons, okay? Now, a neutron is never neutral. And outside of an atom, okay, that neutron is always in a state of decay and disintegration to one nothing of its shape, form, and mass here and now. Just the negative energy of it to the one nothing of it here and now, okay? But inside an atom, okay, a neutron is only overwhelmed by the more positive charge of the atom than negatively stated, okay? Now, anytime you produce more positive to the good truth of the proton, right? E equals mc squared. That's the good truth of all matter creation of existence. To the reality check of all mankind. To the bigger and better of all here and now being. But when you cross negative with negativity, it causes these atoms that express these energies, right, not to be able to hold their bond to the here and now of the good truth of the shape, form, mass that they're expressing. The neutral nothing. And see, this proton is 2 up quarks, 1 down quark, and the neutron is 2 down quarks and 1 up quark, okay? And without that neutron always being overwhelmed by the more positive charge of that atom, right? Well, you're just a body of radioactive matter, right? Neutronic matter from the inside out. In a state of decay and disintegration, the state of all things neutronic as their matter, crisscrossing, static, twisted, scattered, blind, and undefined, unevolved, to the absolute good truth of an atom man evolved to one neutral nothing of you here and now. The absolute bigger and better of you is no more, okay? Now, here's the thing about it. Like I said, Pistis Sophia is female, okay? Faith is female. No faith is stated good as truth, okay? And because it's not stated good as truth, right, it's always an articulated lie on the good truth of all reality check, only crossing to an absolute bigger, better here and now. And I'll explain to you why. Okay, to cross one more positive than negative always is the only good truth of anybody of anything, right? Only adding up. The here and now, good as truth. The only way you can stay or be good as truth here and now is to be one more positive than negative. Okay? And it's the bad way of nothing, and it's the neutral nothing. And at the most positive value of all faith, it states that all things cross bad instead of only negative, and that negativity only needs to be crossed back one more positive always to state you good as truth. Okay? So when you apply faithfully to reality, right, instead of one more positive always than all negativity, to only add up the 24/7, right, Sabbath of the days of your life, good as truth, okay? And in the Gnostics, it says that the planets, the 7 planets, was the demiurge. No, man, the demiurge is the reign of the 7 days that faith has over the one way and the one day, the 8th day of all I am. See, one more positive always, right, than all negativity. Only adding up good as truth. The only way you could stay, be, or good as truth to an absolute bigger, better of you here and now. Okay? And it doesn't respect the fact, right, that all creation of existence of this positive universe is only a circuit of energy, right? One more positive than all negativity that would not have the good truth of them here and now, bigger and better, as the bigger, better here and now of them, you see? And an atom cannot be destroyed for only one reason only. It's a seed of the universe, one more positive, bigger and better, more male than all negativity. They can destroy it, shape, form, mass, to one negative of it here and now, one neutral nothing of it here and now. Unless it's a female atom, then you can split those with fission and fusion. But the atoms you're created of and I'm created of are not made of that kind of matter. These atoms don't split. The only thing that decays, disintegrates, or comes apart from these atoms is their bonding energy, you see? Either you're more positively holding yourself together, bonded good as truth of your shape, form, and mass, right? Or you're not, you hear me? In reality check, you're falling apart. You're static, twisted, scattered, blind, and undefined. Your face coming up short on you in reality check. And when all of these energies came together after Pista Sophia split and the proton overwhelmed the neutron, the first sustainable atom that could never be destroyed was created. It was only created one way. The same articulation of the life of Jesus Christ, one who was only more positive than all faithful negativity, good as the truth of his shape, form, and mass, as the absolute bigger, better of the thieving Holy Spirit out, the more positive male energy, the good of God as truth of all I am, the absolute bigger, better of the God of Allah of all for everlasting peace I am, the triple male third dimension of the good God and truth of all reality check I am, okay? So, when this happened, right, through the periodic table, all creation of existence was built up and the earth was created, okay? Now, we know that the earth is on its own, static, twisted, scattered, blind, and undefined, right? To make itself good as truth, always one more positive than negative. But we know that all around the earth, right, there was pyramids. And at one time, the earth was a true sister reflection, okay, of the energy of the Son of God, the thieving Holy Spirit out of God, of Allah, of all for everlasting peace I am, at every point in time and space I am, okay. But prior to that, there was a humanoid ape species, right? And the incarnate Spirit of God, the male energy of all I am, went into him. And incarnated with this species, who knows how long they germinated together, but the species ended up running themselves off a cliff. And like I said, they weren't no different than us, the way they were articulated through the cobra. And so I suspect, right, when they ran themselves off a cliff, they did it faithfully, unevolved to articulate the good truth of an atom, man. Evolved only to an absolute bigger, better here and now. I'm just going to throw that out as a suspect, because the one who made it up to the cavern of woe, okay, she was able to take on this energy, right, without destroying herself through an orgasmic affair, and it caused her to become a higher stated creature of habit, a woman, okay? A more enlightened creature of habit, right? To the reality check of a woman, but she was not born a woman. And the first incarnate pre-Adamite male of all I am was created. And when that happened through that orgasmic affair, right, all who bred with him, right, became the God Kings, the men of old, right, who helped build the pyramid structure around the world. Again, that was a true sister reflection, right, of Mother Earth, Pista Sophia, right, one together, the bigger and better at every point in time and space, good as truth of the thieving Holy Spirit out, more positive more positive with energy than a negative matter. I always am, good as truth to the absolute bigger and better of all mankind I am. Okay? And all else, right, became that bred back with her, even though she had became a woman through a higher incarnated state of being, a higher energy level of being, right? She wasn't born one. So any of her people that was still left that bred back with her, right, became the Sha'ivas of reality. They were less evolved, right, to articulate what was always good as truth, more positive than negative, and they eventually overthrew the men of old and the God Kings. And the pre-Adamite male of all I am was Adam in the garden, and he came to himself, and the world was overthrew, and he had no good bearing on reality. The only thing he knew, right, is what I'm telling you today, is that he was created to never be destroyed, and he was one good with God as truth, okay? But he did not know how to stay connected to it. And that's when he came to himself, and the Nag Hammadi library takes on the Demiurge's doctrine of how that playful thing played out. But I'm going to show you something. Go find your tree. Find your tree, find your fruit, whatever. They say it's dragon fruit that might have caused him to hallucinate and this and that. Man, you know, the more I'm thinking about it, I think it's all bushwhack. And I'm going to explain to you why. I don't think it is. I know it's a bushwhack, but I'm going to explain to you how this bushwhack happened. Okay? Just like they say there's a temple going to be built in Jerusalem, and the third temple, man, you are the temple of God. Your body and your matter and your life existing, right, and projecting God incarnate through you is what matters, okay? Not some old dusty building that some fucker can bomb when he gets mad, okay? Just keep real with you. You matter. You as individuals, your lives, existing only bigger and better, incarnated with the good of God as truth of you. It's the only thing that matters to this man. All that other crap, the demiurge can have it. But what happened is this Shiva shafting people, man, they overthrew the God Kings, and Adam come to himself. And if he would have knew to only cross Eve one more positive, always, than all negativity, they would have only added up good as truth. That would have been the absolute bigger, better standard of the here and now, and nothing can beat it. Listen, if all mankind could take their logic to the peak of all things they are good and bad, only one more positive than negative, know the good truth of all mankind, they would be at the absolute peak of all standard creation of existence of the mind of God to the reality check of all individuality of them. That's why I love them, and I ain't no hater, and I know that these ways have been articulated on us through unevolved people, and I don't think there's nobody alive that we can really play fault with, but I'm going to keep it real with you. If you've taken on these demiurge ways, right, these blue-blooded ways, because after they Shiva shafted the world, this is what they did. through the blue blood articulations of the Nagas around the world, they became the dynasties, the ruling dynasties of the blue bloods. When I say blue bloods, the royalties around the world, okay? And they inbred so much with each other, right, that they caused all the diseases of mankind, right, to themselves. They couldn't breathe with themselves no more. But they despised us so bad. That's where they come down to Mount Hermon. They said, we better not tell nobody about this act. And the act happened, and their children came out big retards, man. They came out big giant retards, man. And they had to turn their hierarchies over to them because they had nothing else to work with. And the people was in a revolt. And look, I talk about the dark ages of faith, but I'm going to keep it real with you, man. Listen to me. That's how that happened. That's where all these giants come from. Aliens, listen, they were all alien to what was good as truth, man. Listen, lion head snakes. They're a lion head snake to what is good as truth. They're Nagas, they're snake people. Look, their whole doctrine was snake in reality. Listen, if these people are more positive and good as truth, and they can prove it, let's snake them. And that's what they did. They snaked all things good as truth, man, and he left us with death to it. You hear me? Because it's a function of their minds. They were people. These people may have been unevolved, but we've took on these unevolved ways, so we ain't, the apple didn't fall too far from the tree on this one. And if you want to talk about nutty, fruity bushwhacking, I'm going to explain something to you. That tree is you, and all you branch out to with all your five senses. All you see, hear, taste, touch, smell, sand, do. All you eat, drink, smoke, fuck fools. You hear me? To the absolute more positive, good truth of you, only doing bigger and better than all negativity. The only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth to an absolute bigger, better here and now view. Listen, to incarnate with God, good as truth, right? You have to bring it to the absolute bigger, better of you here and now as the reality check of you, see? All things good of God as truth have to come to the reality check of you. Or they're not here now. All you have is an articulation of faith. If you don't know what's the good God and truth of you, all you can do is walk around stumbling blind in the dark, faithfully undefined. You see, half-assed with a spork. And that half-assed spark on you, right, is always a blocker to the flow of things being more positive than negative. That faith is always a blocker. It's always a negative to the flow of you always being one more positive than negative, because it articulates that you cross bad. It articulates that things are neutral. And I'm telling you right now, if they cross one more positive, you don't have to take my advice for it. You go around, do it with everything under the sun, and then you get back at me, okay? If you articulate it one more positive with energy, right, then any negative matters of it, right, and it don't kill you, don't go splat, right, you only add up good. That will be the truth. That's the only way you could stay or be good as truth. And that will be the absolute bigger and better of you infinitely here and now. If I'm lying, I'm dying. If I'm a fool and I can't prove it and you can't either, well, then we all just a bunch of goddamn fools. But I'm telling you, I ain't no fool. You know, I'm the good God and truth of you, man. I'm the Lord of the Manor. I'm the King of the Saints. It's the full thief, man. God, King, Adam, man, first evolved, triple male above all I am, man. You hear me? I bushwhack back, man. I play with no snakes and no gardens, man. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. It's through an articulation of these greedy, apeshit, crazy for matter snake fuckers, right? They died of it, and their hateful ass ways have just left us in a perpetual negative state, infinitely committing suicide forever. Like dumb animals, man, until all creation of existence just crisscrosses on itself and God flips us over and drops us on our head again. I don't know, man. I'm not having none of it, though. I know that much. It's God, truth, and reality. Listen to me. I'll explain something to y'all fools, man. Listen to me. The world don't work the way
it's been articulated. And it's been articulated a lie, and that lie's gonna kill your kids. That lie's gonna kill your family. That lie's gonna kill all things good as truth of you, man, to nothing. You know what I mean? And it's got you articulated like a jackass, but beyond that, it has you articulating more monkey than man when you act that way. And I'm gonna explain to you. This is what the book of shoot, man. I'll say Ecclesiastes, but it's not Ecclesiastes. It's Estrogens of the Soul. It says that the female, right, appendage is on the outside of a female spirit is on the outside of the body. It has a reverse appendage of a man. Okay? Well, when you cross negative with the negativity of it from the inside out, right, you act more like a monkey than a damn man. Because all else is only crossing more evolved than that, right? More positive than the negative matter of it, articulating it good as true. A man or a woman, the only creatures of existence, to the reality check of all God, truth reality check of Mother Earth, they can. You hear me? And if you wait on aliens or your politicians to do it, they ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna do it. Neither of us gonna do it. The aliens ain't gonna make it because they're not real to the reality check of how you define them, and they're only real to what is good as true. Fools, men and women, alien in the mind usually. So what's good as true. Crazy, hallucinating, nutty, and fruity with their articulations. And you'll never find it with your politicians because they're all sold out. Listen to me. They're in with the richest 1%. Listen to me. The rich don't get richer. The poor don't get poor for nothing. Now listen. Your lawyers and your judges, right? They're in with the politicians and so are the preachers. Because I'm going to tell you something. Last thing they're going to say is to go do something more positive than negative. The bad way of nothing, the bad guy of nothing, the neutral nothing. But I will. And if you don't, you'll die of it. And I'll sit and I'll laugh. And I'll tell you why I not only inherit all you are of creation of existence, to here and now of your reality check, your animalistic ways, not being able to do more positive than negative with your leadership, right? Then being bigger and better men and women instead of us animalistically with cages and wars, right? The bad way, neutral or nothing of you, here and now, and your faith. Because I'm not having it, you see. I articulate to a higher power every way, man. You hear me? I'm not having it. I know, right? Ain't nobody I ever treated good beyond the negatives of them ever want to come back and kill me for that. Ain't nobody want to ever hurt me for that. I've never deprived nobody of that. You see? Now, our governments say they're good of us and they're bigger betterment of all society and their religions and all these old shit things. They got their laws. But if that was the truth, that would be the only example articulated to us. But that's the exact opposite example that's articulated to all. And it's just because they're gamey demiurge of the same mind of faith, man. The same mind fuck through the body to the world, faithfully, the bad way of them, man. You hear me? And until they change or, their descendants evolve bigger and better brains than their fucking monkey minds, well, they'll just die of it. And I'll be waiting around and inherit all they got. You see? Because I am that atom of light, you see? I am the bigger, better, here and now of all mankind, creation of existence, of a life that doesn't die, that's infinitely good as truth, bigger and better than all negativity. Of all else, right? Well, you don't think I am, you're going to have to prove it. You hear me? And I can't see that happening. And I'll explain to you why before you even get started. See, a fool may not understand this. They don't have to, but they have to live with it. See, they have to live in the reality of it. Anything that's articulating more positive than negative, right, is a more powerful energy. Okay? To articulate that to matter is the good truth of the bigger and better of all matter. What does that mean? Well, that's the substance, durability, and solidness of it. That's the value and volume of its shape, form, and mass expressed good as truth to the bigger, better of it here now. But also, when it's more positively expressed, right, with energy, and let's say the negatives of its matter, right, it's more of an antibody of light than an antichrist of matter. You see what I'm trying to tell you? Now, I say that God is the more positive male energy of all I am, of creation, of existence, to the here and now, of the bigger, better of all reality check. Okay? Only good as true. And I'll explain to you exactly how this is. Again, anything that you or anybody creation of existence might see that's good as truth, it only articulates one more positive to them than all negativity of it, right? The absolute good truth of the life of Jesus Christ, of all I am, the absolute bigger, better of the thieving Holy Spirit out, right? More positive man than a negative matter of the faith of fools I am, and the absolute bigger and better of the God of Allah of all for everlasting peace I am, that never ever dies a negative in body of matter, man, 2-1 nothing. The absolute bigger better of the 3 times male, triple male, Adam man, first evolved of all I am. And that is a fact of God. Check. God, truth, reality check. Peace.